Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Coming at you from 6 Reviews, and if you watched my previous video, and if you guys haven't, check it out. Just the link's been below, or just click subscribe. Yeah, click that subscribe button. You guys can check out all my videos. But in my previous video, I told you guys how I picked up the Bel-Air 5s at a steal of a price. But before the story starts, like I said, can you please just click that subscribe button and that like button? Almost at 3,000. I think I'm a 9 away. I'm 9 subscribers away from 3,000. So here it is. This is the shoe that I picked up for a ridiculous steal, completely DS, and I picked it up at the Nike Outlet. This is a Nike Outlet steal. Unbelievable. I actually picked up 2 pairs. It wasn't even 3 pairs. No, I picked up 2 pairs of these, and I actually copped so many things that day because it was a grand opening of the Niagara Outlet, not the one on Lundy's Lane. It's actually the Niagara Outlet that's off the highway, the Niagara Premium Outlets, and they had the grand opening. So here's the story. My brother and I, we both live in Toronto, and we heard about the Nike Outlet opening up in Niagara Falls, another one. And he was like, do you want to go to the outlet and see if they have anything? I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. And my family, my parents live in St. Catharines, which is right next to Niagara Falls. It's actually a bigger city than Niagara Falls population-wise, but no one knows St. Catharines because we don't have Niagara Falls. So anyways, back to the story. Niagara Falls opening day, my brother was like, maybe we should go there by 10 o'clock. I was like, no man, if we're gonna go to the outlet, there's gonna be a lineup. It's a grand opening of not just the Nike outlet, the whole outlet in general. I was like, you know what, I have a feeling there's gonna be some heat. We gotta get there a little bit early. And it was like 9 o'clock. I was like, no, we gotta get there at least by 8 or 7 o'clock. And if I were to think about this now, people would probably be lining up like the night before. But luckily, because it was in Niagara, because it wasn't a hyped or talked about outlet opening, it was pretty empty. So we park our car, parking lot's kind of empty, so that was a good sign. We walk up and we see no lineup. We only see maybe 2 or 3 people. I think it was 3 people together, just chilling out, sitting in front of the outlet. And right when me and my brother came, we all just kind of chilled there for about, I think, a few, like 30 more minutes, and then we moved over and started creating a line because the lineup started to build up. So the first guy waiting in line was 6'3", athletic build, wasn't Asian, so that automatically makes me assume not a reseller, not racist, I'm just telling you the truth. And he was really quiet, he didn't really say much, and we were all kind of excited of talking about like what we wanted to cop or what we were hoping to cop, because we all had no idea. The lineup's starting to build up more and more and more and more. The Nike employees inside were just doing their cheers or whatever. If you've ever been to a grand opening of a Nike outlet, it's kind of like a cult because they like do all these cheers and hip hop parades and whatnot. A girl comes outside of the outlet and it's about 30 minutes until grand opening and says, hey, what's up, to the first guy in line. And so me and my brother were kind of taken aback. We're like, whoa, how does this guy know this girl? So like, hey, how do you know the girl? Like, does she know what's like gonna be inside? He goes, and he stayed just pretty mum about it. And then about 5 minutes later, another girl comes up to come check out the line. And now I'm just kind of getting restless because we don't know if there's going to be anything good there or is this just going to be a bust. So I said, hey, is there anything good on the walls? And she goes, man, there's a lot of good stuff. And a lot of these people are talking about these Bel-Air shoes. And right then I froze. I looked at Bel-Air shoes and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, they probably got Bel-Air 5s. Oh my gosh, and I'm freaking out. And I'm just like, okay, I hope she's not talking about like the Bel-Air just Jordan, just like the regular series, like I think it was the 28s or whatnot. I was like, oh, I hope she's not talking about that. I'm really hoping she's talking about the Bel-Air 5s. And then the first guy in line, his face just sank. And then he was just saying like, yo, I work at the Nike outlet in Halton Hills and they got tons of heat here. I was trying to keep it on a DL that the Bel-Air 5s were gonna be there, but she's right, the Bel-Air 5s are on the wall. So here I am, 3rd in line, 4th in line, knowing that there's Bel-Air 5s on the wall. I know I'm gonna have to sprint for it. So the Nike outlet, when it comes to grand openings in the Nike outlet, they have this line, they open up the doors and they have all the Nike staff right here lined up and they ask for high fives. But at this point, I know there's Bel-Air 5s on the wall. So right when the doors open, the first 2 guys start running in and they start walking casually, and then everyone picks up the pace and we're all just jogging. We're jogging and we're jogging and we go back to that back section, and let me tell you, it was heat. I've never seen this much heat on the wall. You had Bel Air 5s, multi-fly colored trainers. You got the Blue Lagoon racers. You had Jordan 8, the playoff 8s. You had Green Glow 4s. You had just a bunch of heat. KDs, Nikes, Kobe's, LeBron's, everything on the wall. And they just kept on bringing it out and out and out. So basically what I did, I went straight to the wall. I looked at the 9 to 10 section, 9.5. My brother had 8 to 9. And I picked up two 9.5 Bel Air 5s. Boom, boom, boom. Picked up some multi-fly color trainers, multi-fly color trainers. I picked up some racers. I picked up some Jordan 8 playoffs, and then they just kept on bringing out these Jordan 8 playoffs. It was crazy, 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 crazy. So crazy that when my brother cashed out, he brought his shoes, put it into his car, and then he helped me bring about 6 bags worth, just filled, maybe even more than 6. I'd probably say 8 bags worth, filled with shoes that I copped that day. But the best cop of that day was these Bel Air 5s. Dope as heck, and I always wanted shoes, and I was actually willing to pay resale for these shoes about a month before. I just waited out, and not only did I not pay resale, I paid way below retail. If you guys don't believe me, here's the outlet box. Took out the lace locks. Look at that. Size 9.5. No top because it was from the outlet. For $119 Canadian. So probably for all you Americans, it came out to around $90 American. The story doesn't end here. Right when I was going outside of the Nike outlet, there was a TV crew, Canadian TV station was out there, news station was out there, like recording people asking how the outlet was. I come out with 8 bags in my arm, so obviously they're gonna come and ask me if they can interview me. I was like, no, I'm okay, but like, no, please, can you interview me? Can we interview you? And I was like, okay, cool. And so they're asking me questions, and I'm just holding these bags, and I answered a bunch of questions, but there was one part where I was like, man, the Nike outlet, man, it's cheap. I said that, but I said a bunch of other stuff. I checked myself on the news, and I wish I could find this clip for you guys, but if I can't, it's really just me on screen with a bunch of bags. They cut everything out, and they just have this Asian guy holding 8 bags saying, cheap. And it's my time to shine, knowing that that's probably the only time I'll be on national TV saying cheap. Anyways, if you guys can, please follow me on Instagram, SamsaTRD. Follow me on Snapchat, SJMS86. Journey with me to 5K. I'm about 3,000. Last time I said, like at the beginning of the video, 2,991. Share this video, help me get to 3,000. That would mean a lot to me. This is your boy 6 Sam coming at you from 6 Reviews. Woo! Hey, oh, that had spin. We out. And let me tell you guys this, if there's anyone that says media does not influence you, the reason why I talk how I talk, probably the reason why I am who I am, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I loved Will Smith in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I just love that show. I love him in the show. I love the character of him. Like, I'm telling you, the reason why I talk relatively a little bit urban, I grew up in St. Catharines, a like 95% Caucasian city, is because I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and BET. Truth. I love you, Will Smith.